Alright, so today is our final chapter, Runout tolerances, the last one in your GD&T. So this is your final tolerance category. Your runout combines everything we learned: form, orientation, datums. And this is only used when parts rotate. So don't try to use when parts don't rotate for this GD&T. If it doesn't spin, runout is usually wrong, so do not apply it. And of course, we are going to focus on inspection reality, your shop floor thinking in this chapter. Runout controls how much a surface moves when a part rotates around a datum axis. So picture a shaft in a lathe. That's got to be the runout. You hold a dial indicator against your cylinder and rotate it. So if the needle moves too much, that's excessive runout. So if the dial indicator needle jumps, that's runout. Runout is about motion during load rotation. Measure while rotating 360-degree. Always references a datum axis, which is this guy. Yeah, your references. And here is your surface. So used for the rotating parts. Circular runout 0.030 is your tolerance zone. And then we have, of course, the datum reference surface is your primary datum A. Two types of runout: circular runout and total runout. Circular is a one cross section. Your total is the entire surface or the whole surface. And we gauge it at once for the total runout. So total is more stricter than the circular. Also, total costs more than circular. Yeah, it costs us more to inspect those kind of surfaces. For circular runout, we go one circle at a time, and indicator stays in one spot. Your total runout is going to check the entire surface. Your indicator is going to sweep along the surface while rotating. Very important. And here is an example of the flange runout gauge. Of course, this is just to stabilize. And then, of course, this is your gauge. Yeah. And then, of course, your instrument for gauge is going to go into here, these little holes. Of course, here is your commercial number for this instrument. And this is a company that made them. Runout rules you got to remember. Runout does not use material condition modifiers. So don't use MMC, LMC. Students often try to add the MMC by mistake. Don't do that. Your CMM you forget and then you go and click on the MMC. Don't do that. That is wrong. So datum axis is mandatory. Do not forget, your runout always requires the datum axis. Without rotation, runout makes no sense, so therefore apply only to those parts that can rotate. Applies regardless of feature size. It doesn't depend on the size. Measure with dial indicator. Most of the time, inspection instrument is dial indicator like that. Your maximum axis offset usually calculated by dividing the runout value with 2. Half of runout value. Okay, so make sure you use it only when rotation matters. So like this. So here is the instrument. This is your circular runout inspection. And here is your dowel. It's just a part, mechanical part that is cylinder. We put it in there and of course gauge it with a dial indicator like this. And then of course you can roll this thing, okay, because it needs to be the rotating part. Alright, so circular runout on a shaft. And here is your example diagram showing you the feature control frame with circular runout 0.05. Datum axis is right here, surface is right there. Your circular runout outside, sometimes they write it this way. And newer CAD, okay, software, little software that people create also write like this, okay? So not just like this in the ASME, of course, as standard. Control roundness at each section is being gauged. So how center it is to datum A is your reference. So you're always trying to gauge it right against your datums. Otherwise, there's nothing to compare to understand how round the cylinder is. So this is common for motor shaft, in real life. So each cross section must stay within so-and-so tolerance zone. And here in this example, 0.05. And then your indicator, that you're using to gauge that this zone got to stay in one location. rotate 360 degree, and then of course to check that movement. So that's what you're doing in runout. Circularity is not correct in runout because circularity in form checks only roundness. It does not reference the axis. For runout, you need a reference, yeah, and of course you need the roundness and the axis relationship. That's why we target the center axis. So you have datum A fixed plus rotation. So here is your dot indicator gonna go around. Yeah, we're not just checking circularity, we're checking the circularity against the datum axis and rotation. So circular runout on a face, yeah, a wobble. So think about your brake, yeah, your brake rotors in your car. So if the face wobbles, you're gonna have your vibration, and your circular runout is gonna limit that wobble, yeah. So circular runout 0.03 is your tolerance zone, and then of course your A. So vibration in your car because your rotor phase wobble is because they don't pass the runout test, you know, and even material around the axis, and you definitely need to clean up or rust off or do something about it to make things not vibrating. It does not control the full flatness, full perpendicularity. Of course, the mechanics of the dealerships, they don't care. Some of the mechanics don't understand what they're doing. They're just starting, okay, a point of their career or whatever, and your car suffers on their hand. Of course, a lot of the customers don't know because the customers are lack of knowledge about, they don't even know what ran out is. They don't know, they don't care about whether their rotors are rusted or not. Especially they think like the mechanics will clean it, but mechanics don't do cleaning, okay? They just check it for you and then just put everything back in. Nobody really wipe things or sand, all right, or these irregular surfaces off for you. It is your duty to clean out your car. So don't be afraid to take things apart, okay? So if you see the people are taking their car parts out in a garage, it means that they understand that they need to clean, especially the rotating axis, transmission, your power train, and your car wheels are really, really important to clean up. So make sure you do your regular maintenance by yourself before you go and put your car to the mechanic. Do not depend on them because they're not going to do anything for you. Okay, of course, unless you pay a lot of money, even that, very, very lazy people. So inspection method, okay, another one, we're using the same inspection here, the same instrument. Your indicator touches the surface, which is this face, and then rotate 360 degree with this handle. And your needle, right, little thingy right there is going to move. And we have to gauge it less than or equal to 0.03, okay, which is our, of course, this tolerance zone. So this is real life, and that's a paper, all right, example. And of course, you have to connect to each other. So indicator stays fixed, only rotation changes. Very common shop inspection that they do, especially for the car. There are billions of cars all over the world, and then of course the maintenance service are very, they are practically ripping people off. Yeah, example inspection to circular runout, and of course this is from your your measuring, okay, instrument from their company, showing you the gear bearing and the screw detector, which is this guy. All right, total runout on a ship. Total runout symbol, you see it changes, and here is the surface indicator showing you a two little arrow with a bar, meaning that you will deal with the entire surface of the cylinder. And then of course we're going to gauge 0.08 for the tolerance from the datum surface A. Datum target axis is this guy. This is very powerful. The one control replaces multiple circles right there on the cylinder. So total runout is powerful. So use on a precision shaft, your indicator is going to sweep along that surface while rotating. Total runout can ride with a feature control frame traditionally like this, and outside right now like that. Okay, controls all at once: circularity, straightness, taper, and your coaxiality and the surface waviness. Taper means that your cylinder is not always like this. It's going to taper at one end. Okay, it's smaller because the diameter changes. Inspection method total, another one. Concentricity tester, high precision, showing you the surface, surface inspection. You can see this little rod right there, gauging the entire surface, and of course it is connected to the dial indicator like that in this instrument. So rotate the part, sweep the indicator along the entire length of the surface, and all reading gotta stay less than or equal to 0.08, and that's what we're showing in the tolerance zone. Total runout on a phase, so this is going to keep the phase square to the axis, and we of course write that way in this way, already show you 1,000 times. Your flatness alone would not tie it to the rotation, so very common in your coupling phases in real life. In real life, of course, it controls the flatness, perpendicularity, 90 degrees, your wobbliness, and then your surface shape of that, cylinder in this case. It is totally gauged by that, controlled by this tolerance. We are controlling the entire surface for runout. Your datum axis is here, your reference surface right there. Of course, why total runout is important, because I always think functional requirement, mechanical function, rotation. So does the face need to spin? Right, true. If it is required, then do total runout. So flatness alone does not relate to the axis. Total runout going to control the flatness and the axis. Okay, so the relationship is very important to understand the mechanical motion. Your gauge cannot vary by more than 200 microns over the entire reference features. So here is your moving gauge, moving da da da, and then we are of course checking if there's any wobbliness on that cylinder. And then of course we rotate the part like this. This is just a arrangement to do inspection. And here is your gauge block where the part sits. So we're gauging the entire surface in the total runout. Runout, on only part of the surface. So you have the entire surface, we can also do a part. We can also do on a disc like this. So here is your gauge 0.5 for your tolerance. Your datum, reference is A and B. And then of course we're doing the total runout. We can be able to see from this symbol. So chain the line, chain line shows the control zone, of course. And then your runout applies only to that length. And we sometimes use for the bearing journals, your seal surfaces, your wear zones are very important. Wear zones got to be in the tolerance, otherwise you are going to get vibration in your machine. So we do not control the entire shift, only the functional area. Saves the machine cost. Your smart tolerance applications are very important. So make sure you check if your car is vibrating at your gas pedal. It means not very good. Okay, so you better either clean up. So clean up means do housekeeping. Dust off, rust off. Okay, so rust is a major enemy for your car. They will rust up in 1 or 2 years. It depends on the weather. So make sure you go around your car and go to the whatever auto part, and then buy a rust off or rust something eliminator, either oil fluid or yes, a spray is better because you don't have time, so you just go and spray and it's going to get it off in 30 seconds or so. So do that. These are routine maintenance. So over tolerancing increases the cost. Your engineers must think economically, only control what actually matters. And American engineers are very, very smart, and we think about everything, of course, before you develop the entire car or other machines. You have your axial runout and radial runout like this, radial like this, and axial like that. So focus tolerance where function matters. Cost reduction is really, really important in any kind of manufacturing, Prevents over controlling design, of course. In MCC, the entire engineering technology is branched out into different majors, and that's okay and not okay, I would say, because it is better to combine everything. Yes, you gotta understand, you're not just getting the job in that major. You have to get the entire engineering, technology, and you're studying each part of it. It's not like there is something going on in the school, like they compare their major. We're not supposed to be doing that. Everything inside of the engineering technology, you gotta know almost everything, by the way. And if you don't know this one, that one, it's really difficult, for you to do the job in real life. So those who are very successful, they know everything. They have a broad knowledge, and they continuously study their job. Very very important to keep in touch with the knowledge, broader knowledge, I would say. Quick decision guide. Okay, here is the outside world, and you can see dirty in the garage right there. Testing. There's a disc right there, your brake disc. Important again to keep the gauge, all right, in that tolerance zone for that disc, because if you have a lot of rust pile up here, it will definitely wobble and it will come out of tolerance and definitely vibrate your car when it is in rotation. So very important to check. The rotor is very important to check. Some mechanics steal, right, stuff, and then they would take your original. So if you have like a new car, be very careful because you can go and check your wheel all the time. So be careful. They swap the parts. These are corruptions and of course crime that the entire dealership is committing. By the way, some FBI gotta follow to those kind of crimes. Um, Government doesn't care if you don't pass a certain limits in the money. So stealing a rotor, and that happened quite a lot to many of your new cars. Be very careful. They will swap your original part and throw in some functioning parts back into you. And of course, the sellers sell that around. They do that all the time. So people who have money, be very careful. Mechanics, so they will torture you. You gotta check everything. Maybe take a picture before you put your car into the dealership. And then check. People don't have time to do that kind of thing. So we go by the trust, or choose something who dealership you can trust. So automobile brake disc, showing you the flatness or runout backlash measuring tool right there, like this. You just clip this one somewhere on the car and then gauge this. So we usually use a circular runout, checking the wobbliness at the spots on the disc, lower the inspection cost preferred. Of course, so we don't want to pay that much. And then this type of setup definitely lower the inspection cost. Use a total runout when you want to gauge the smooth transition. Your entire surface must behave together. And here's a summary. Your disc brake rotor ball joint gauge. Showing you. This is different, and that's another place. Your of course this is different here, and then of course another one. Here, just showing you your precision 0 to 1 inch, 0.001 inch. You can go by the dial indicator, this guy. And then, of course, your automobile brake disc flatness runout is what we're doing. So runout is always measured during rotation. Very important. Always uses a datum axis. Don't forget your datum surface. If you have a datum surface, meaning we have the datum axis. So never use this MCC and the LMC. If you're using a CMM, your automatic one, not the manual one, make sure don't click on it accidentally. Controls the motion behavior, because some students don't know and click here, click there, click everywhere, and make mistake with runout. So if the part doesn't rotate, runout is usually wrong. CMMs are pretty easy to use. We already have one in the lab, and you're using it. Just make sure you read the instruction at the top of your screen, and then follow each of the points and not doing other stuff. Because it's already been programmed for you to be easy and for everybody to be able to use it. So this is a final GD&T concept that you need to know, and which is your runout. So I already gave you the entire chart. GD&T always need a pocketbook, and everybody keep one in our profession. So make sure you got one. I'm not listing that for you because there are thousands. Just choose something that you like, or you can use the one that I give it to you free. So runout ties geometry to real motion. So very very important. And again, in engineering, we go by the geometry, so don't forget that. Your technician must understand technician. We even though saying like technician for the community college, you are actually studying the first 2 years of the engineering. Okay, so don't forget that. You have a lot of potential to grow in our line. And of course, some people just want to just go in and do an easy one because they got more money by doing the daily routine jobs. Anyways, and so they don't bother continue to study and have a headache. So the technician must understand inspection reality. Always think Does it spin? Does it rotate? If so, don't do form, do the runout. Okay, that's it.